Pass check, Burton, and Carolina has a touchdown.
So they're like, oh, well, we need real players. Oh, okay. So you need a quarterback? Sure.
Another opportunity, spins out of a sack, throws it to the back of the end zone. He's got his man. Touchdown, New Orleans.
He's gone. To the 30. He's gone, baby. My goodness. Somebody cool off that man's feet because they're on fire.
This is gonna explode big time.
Eleven Sports welcomes you to the following presentation of the Simulation Football League.
It's week number 4 in the SFL, and it's Showdown Tuesday. That means you better button up your chin strap and pull up your chair, otherwise you might get stuck. It's the SFL on Twitch. The Sharks are back, and they're on the attack with the help of Commanders Angus McLean and Gabriel Manning. For the Wildcats, E.T. King and J.C. Torres is performing for the end zone. The San Fran Hart lies with the number 1 receiver. But can he break the soul of this Wildcats defense led by linebacker Clint Hendershot and safety A.J. Barnes? It's week 4, and the 3-0 Chicago Wildcats are visiting the 1-2 San Francisco Sharks. Both teams are looking to conquer one another in this SFL battle. As the season continues to heat up and catch fire, it's the SFL on Twitch TV. I'm your play-by-play commentator today, Damon Simeon. Alongside me is Ramos Lynn with Jeff Lowe on stats. We're in San Francisco at Shark Bait Stadium. When you can run it, throw it, and catch it, you're official SFL contenders. The Wildcats versus the Sharks is next on SFL Network, presented by APM Music. Ramos, what are your takes on tonight's game, sir?
I mean, you might look at the stats and you might think, hey, Chicago has to be the favorite. However, San Francisco has a few things going for them. Number 1, they haven't met ever, so Chicago has no tape and has no experience against them, so they can be caught off guard. Another one is a long trip from Chicago all the way to San Francisco, and they have a promising young quarterback. San Francisco does. They have a great returner and receiver in Gabriel Manning, and 1 or 2 big plays from number 18 can really change this game. They will give the ball to Chicago first, which means that Gabriel Manning will have a chance to return a kickoff in the 3rd quarter, and that's when he can be really, really dangerous.
I must say that I have to agree with you, Ramos, on all of that. But hey, here we are. The ball is on the tee. Boot it! And we have kickoff here on Tuesday night. There's a return from the 10-yard line by the return man here. That is Corey Carter there on his first return of the night. Ball is down at the 30-yard line.
This Chicago team, they are very experienced, and they are 3-0 for a reason. They have a great coach in Shan Varner. They have great talent offensively and defensively, and they know each other extremely well. They have a new coming running back. However, most of this team has been together for at least a season.
Here's the handoff here to Odom, and Odom is stopped in the backfield. Look like going to be a yard lost there on that carry.
We do have a penalty flag, though.
Like a neutral zone on the defense, number 50.
Yeah, and San Francisco cannot afford to make these mistakes. Chicago's too good on offense, especially in the passing game. They brought in a new running back, as I said, Ash Odom, and he's really good. But, we talk about how E.T. King connects with Buchanan Simmons and how he can really stretch the field. San Francisco cannot allow to be in those 1st and 5 situations defensively.
You're right. Look, here's a far jokers now for the Chicago Wildcats. Hand off to Odom right up the middle. And Odom picks up the first down. Only had 5 yards to go. Brought down at the 42-yard.
And what a job right there by the offensive line early on.
By the offensive line there, as you stated, making that hole for Odom. Comes even set. Odom in the backfield. Looks like man-to-man cover. And King has all day long. Oh, as he get ready to down. And there's Franco Sonate. Strong eye jokers now for the Chicago Wildcats. And there's a handoff hit to Ash Odom again. His third carry of the game. He's going to be stuffed for a 2-yard loss in the backfield.
And I think Franco Sonati was there on that play again. And, he's not a rookie anymore. He played with Vancouver for a season, and now he is here with San Fran. Very good early on in the running, in the running defense.
4 wide receiver set. Looks like a 3-3 dime, 3-3 nickel for the defense. 2-step drop by King. King goes deep. Got a man across the middle of the field. Picks up the first down. Coming over his first reception to. What a throw by King.
Yeah, that's a great route and a great play here for Chicago. Exactly what they needed. It's a post route, and Torres was on that soft spot on the defensive zone, and he was able to get the first down.
42 nickel by the 4-step drop here by King. Carter to the top of the field. Carter picks up the reception and the first down as he's being tackled by a host of Sharks.
Chicago really moving the ball here. Now they are in field goal range, and the offensive line has played extremely well here in the passing coverage early on, and this is something that San Francisco needs to put pressure on the Chicago quarterback.
And off here to Odom, and Odom's going to pick up 3 yards. Looks like he's brought down by 99, and that would be Larry Kennedy, his first tackle. Three wide receiver set. Looks like tight end flex far. There's another handoff here to Odom. Odom breaks a tackle, pick up the first down before he's tackled by Barkley down at the 12-yard line. What a run by the running back.
And that was kind of like a delayed handoff, and it was not intentional, but at the same time, they used San Francisco's aggressiveness against them. The defensive line was there in the backfield, and the offensive line was able to get into the second level and pick up some blocks for Ash Odom to get the first down. And so far, they have looked completely unstoppable. Now, they go man-to-man coverage. Let's see if they go with one of the inner guys on some sort of a slant route or something.
And they're going to go for the fade route to the back of the end zone. Both toes in, Ramos. Touchdown, Buchanan Simmons. Hollywood.
Yeah, and kudos to the Chicago's, again, offensive line. Great protection, and what a throw. Not easy, it's man-to-man coverage. His best man wins, and Simons got on top of the defense, over the defense, and was able to get a big touchdown in Chicago, looking really good offensively. And in less than 4 minutes, they are on the board with 6 points.
And that's one of the great things about the Chicago offense is that they love to spread the defense out and make their attacks, whether it's through the run game, whether in that spread offense, or it's through the air. I mean, they do a really good job at spreading people out and getting the ball downfield, as we just saw in their first drive. What a very productive drive for them. Now the ball is going to be kicked off over to San Francisco. What do you think that San Francisco has to do to get things rolling for them?
Well, they need an explosive play here. I mean, it starts with Gabriel Manning possibly here on this kick return. If not, I will bet that offensively they will throw the ball to Gabriel Manning and put it in his hands and try to make a big play.
Manning with the return from the 8-yard line, going to be hit and brought down to the 27. Trevor Driver on the tackle on that return. First and 10 for the San Francisco Sharks at San Francisco's 27-yard line. There's a look at Gabriel Manning right there. And take a look at the San Francisco offense. 3 wide receivers on the field. Halfback and to the right of the quarterback. Going to be a handoff to the halfback right up the middle of the field. And he's going to get nothing doing. Maybe 1 yard on the carry. And there was Adrian Powers on the handoff, on the carry, shall I say. Angus McLean in the shotgun. Two running backs in the shotgun with him. 3 wide receivers set. Across the middle of the field. That pass is almost interception by Clinton Hendershot. What a great play there by their linebacker.
In San Francisco quickly in the hole, it's a 3rd and 9, not easy against this defense. Defense that doesn't have the best pass rush that you will find in the league. However, they do have very good corners, good safeties, and good coverage linebackers. So it's not going to be easy at all to get this 3rd and 9.
There's a one-step drop here by the QB. Got a strike across the middle of the field, and that pass is caught and completed. And that is to the tight end, L.J. Smith. Oh, my apologies. That is, but it was. Angus McLean underneath the center now. 3 wide receivers set once again for the Sharks offense. And looks like the defense is in a 42 nickel. Handoff here to Powers, and Powers is hit as soon as he got the ball at the line of scrimmage. That's Donnie Odom on the tackle, Ramos.
Yeah, and the defense has been ready for that play. It's a quick developing play. It's a short handoff up the middle, and the defensive line has been outstanding. It's not a bad play call by San Francisco. It's 4 defensive linemen and only 2 linebackers, and you have 5 offensive linemen. That play should work, but great job by the defense.
There's Gabriel Manning, first reception there, picking up 5 on that out route. Single back left formation here now for the Sharks. Powers in the backfield all by himself. 4 defensive linemen for this Wildcats defense. We're going to play zone. There's an out route to Manning to the top of the field. Manning picks up a first down. Back-to-back first downs here for the Sharks on this
Yeah, looking really good offensively now.
drive.
Yeah, definitely. Looking very good here offensively. They started off slow. It was a 3rd and 9, but they have went to Gabriel Manning a couple plays, and it's been really good. Now they have no running back in the backfield, so this is another pass, and Chicago has the safety low, so maybe a deep pass will be a good idea here.
That's a 2-step drop by McLean. Got a man straight across the middle of the field. That is Burnham. He's still on his feet. My goodness, what a spin move. Picks up the first down. What a strike by McLean.
Yeah, he's looked really good here in the past couple plays. That's Matt Burnham, former tight end, running some sort of post route. And again, it's a great play by the Sharks because that safety was down low. He was basically at the line of scrimmage. So that place was completely open for a receiver to catch the ball, and it happened. So now it's San Francisco in scoring position.
Greg Gaines tried to bring him down, but the spin move and the momentum from the spin just threw Gaines off of the back of Burnham. And they're in the same formation once again. No halfback here, Ramos. There's a 2-step drop here by McLean. McLean throws to Manning at the top of the field. He's going to pick up 4 yards on that reception.
And this is what they should do. I mean, they have no rush. I mean, they have just to settle down a little bit. Again, they're in scoring position, and what they're doing is working. That's short passes, running the ball. It's working, so there's no need to change anything with them.
Looks like they're going to go to single back ace formation. I'm sorry, single back ace right, and that is a swing pass to Powers, and Powers going to pick up 1 yard. 3rd and 4, which is not bad here for
Yeah, definitely not bad at all. I mean, it's, again, 3rd and 4 is a manageable situation, and you have Gabriel Manning outside, you have Burnham, and as they go with empty set, so this is definitely a pass. I'm expecting maybe an out route here.
Looks like Powers is right alongside the tight end there to the bottom of the field. McLean pumps fake, and McLean throws the Powers. Oh, that pass is almost intercepted by Clinton Hendershot as Powers had his mittens on it, but he was unable to bring it in.
Yeah, and that's completely on the receiver. You know, he should have caught that pass. He was completely wide open, and the pass was thrown beautifully. And let's see if San Francisco can come away at least with 3 points on the board here. It's not an easy field goal. It's 47 yards out. So, you know, and it's also from the right hash for a left-footed kicker. Not easy at all.
Chris Long is the kicker, 5'7", 160 pounds. And there's a snap. And oh, and he's going to hit it right down the 47-yard field goal is good for Long, and the Sharks are now on the.
Yeah, great kick by Long there. Just barely, maybe just 2 yards clear of the crossbar, but good either way. So that's important, you know, to answer. You know, it was not 7 points as they wanted, but at least to answer with 3 points and stay here in the first quarter in the game.
And Long is going to kick it off to Carter now, and the Wildcats. What a booming kick here by Long. Down to the 9-yard line is Carter, and Carter puts on the spin move. Juke. Oh, he did a back step. He shouldn't have done that. I think Ramos, if he kept running, he's probably heading his way to Hollywood Boulevard.
I agree. Yeah, he had the space, but he was unable to read his blocks properly.
Or maybe he saw something totally different than what we saw up here in the booth.
Yeah.
Because as the game is moving fast, when you're a player, I mean, you see so many things, and you got to see things pretty quick. 3 wide receiver set here now for the Chicago offense. Ash Odom in the backfield. I formation on the Cats. Oh, my goodness, what a hit. Big tackle by Chad Guy. I believe that's his first tackle of the day.
You know, and San Francisco needs more of these, and they have been able to, you know, get a couple good tackles at the line of scrimmage or close to the line of scrimmage. You know, we saw Frank Castaneda do it, and you know, they need more consistency out of this. You know, they go man-to-man coverage, so this is gonna be a throw, and let's see which is better.
2-step drop here by King. King got some man down on the top of the field there. Almost picks up the first down. It's gonna be 3rd and 2 now. Second tight end. It looks like going to be power formation. Handoff hit to Odom. Odom finds himself a hole, picks up the first down before he's brought down by a host of Sharks. Looks like Sim Franco Jr. was there.
You know, we're seeing a very, very effective Chicago offense, you know, and they were very effective last game. You know, they were up at one time about 28-0, and you know, this offense, they have the receivers, they have the running back, they have the tight end, they have the quarterback, of course, and you know, they are really, really good. So it's gonna be hard for San Francisco to stop them, as you can see.
Oh, what a spin move! Is that the tight end comes away with his first reception?
Yeah,
put on
Warner.
Put on a pair of spin. Oh, how awesome was that for him to inbounds on that first spin move? Well, before he was making the second spin move.
Right.
Formations, defense in a 43 man coverage, and King's under pressure. King gets it off. Oh, it was incomplete. He had Torres streaking across the middle of the field, unable to connect.
Yeah, and again, Sonati put in the pressure, and he's been about the best defensive player on the field today, I will say, and he is, again, not a rookie anymore. He has really progressed as player, and E.T. King was able to throw that one away, essentially. It was almost caught, but, you know, 2nd and 10 is way better than getting a 2nd and 19 and a sack.
I agree with you. Looks like they're going to run the same play. Trips right here now for King. King's under pressure. That pass is bobbled and incomplete. Intended for Carter. Carter unable to bring it in.
And you have to think that maybe, you know, because the defender was almost able to swap, you know, just swat that ball away. You have to think if that just interfered with his vision and he was unable to locate the ball properly. But either way, it's a 3rd and 10, and they are not in scoring position. So let's see if the San Francisco defense can hold.
4 wide receivers set in the shotgun formation. Look for cross corners. That pass is almost intercepted. and, and that was uh, uh, the strong safety.
Yeah, and great job by the San Francisco defense on stopping that. I mean, it's again, it's not easy to stop this high-powered Chicago offense, especially when they go about 5 wide receivers.
Here comes the punter for Chicago, Malcolm Perrion. Going to punt it off to Gabriel Manning down at the 10-yard line is where he's going to take it from, and he's up to the 16-yard line. So that was a great defensive stand there, Ramos, by the Sharks defense. Played pretty good defense compared to that first drive Chicago had.
Yeah, most definitely. And again, it's not easy. It's not easy at all, especially when they go 5 wide receiver. It's very hard to cover them all. So, for them to get the ball back, still just 4 points down is very good.
There's a strike by McClain across the middle of the field. He got the receiver. Burn him. Here's McClain, shotgun formation, going deep with a big arm to Manning. Completion given to him down to the 42 of Chicago. What a play by McClain.
Yeah, what a big time throw. Great protection by the offensive line, and completely wide open was Gabriel Manning, which is basically the guy that you have to cover. No disrespect to Barnum, but if there's one guy who can beat you over the top, is him. Barnum is more used as a possession guy, short routes, but it's Gabriel Manning that you really need to cover for those 30 to 40-yard routes.
5-step drop here by McClain. McClain dumps it off here to Powers. Powers going to get a couple of yards. Picks up 5 on that reception. Now the get his drop. Powers and Bryant in the backfield with McClain. 2 wide receivers set. Looks like 2 tight ends on the play as well. One's going to stay in the block. McClain goes deep. That pass is almost intercepted by Gaines.
And they try to test again another deep throw, and a great coverage there by Gaines. And I don't love the play call. I mean, again, it's 2nd and 5, so even if you have an incompletion, it will be just 3rd and manageable. But at the same time, you're very close from scoring position here, so I will honestly maybe have ran the ball there on 2nd and 5.
4 wide receivers set, empty backfield formation for these Sharks. 2-step drop here by McClain. McClain throws to Manning. What a dart to Manning. And he's 10 of 13 with 105 here in the first. And that's the end of the first quarter, everyone. As we move into quarter number 2. Tonight, Simulation Football League broadcast presented by presented by APM Music, Production Music Library, and Custom Music House, and brought to you in part by Fuel Beyond Imagination. Visit the all-new SFL and interactive.net today. Matt Doyle Designs, the official brand partner of the SFL, and MediaTek. Turn your passion into your profession. Arrow Shots brought to you by AirViews. United by Drone. Visit airviews.com to see more drone footage, as you just saw, of the San Francisco area. Always to the right. There's a handoff here to the halfback end. Power's going to pick up 3 yards. Great run there, Ramos, by the non-contract halfback.
Yeah, I agree. And again, these are the type of plays that really matter a lot. It's just a 3-yard gain, but that leaves to second and manageable, third and manageable, and that really puts the ball now at the 18, which is red zone, and scoring range here for San Francisco.
There's a two-stop drop here by McClain. McClain got his receiver across the middle of the field. And that is the tight end, L.J. Smith.
Yeah, big play by the tight end. First and goal. And I think that, San Francisco here in first and goal, look, nickel defense. I think they should run the ball here up the middle.
I agree with you. Looks like a 4 tight end flex here formation for San Francisco. Here's a 7-step drop here by McClain. McClain throws an out route down to Manning. Ball at the 3-yard line.
Gabriel Manning had to stop to get the feet in bounds. I think that if that was a shorter drop back by the quarterback, he probably would have gotten the ball there quicker than that, and maybe a touchdown was on their hands, but still a nice play to put the ball at the 3-yard line. And again, nickel defense here for Chicago, so a run up the middle could be problem for this defense.
And now for it to Powers. Powers up to the 1-yard line. Almost get in before a spear out of the secondary by.
And if I'm San Francisco, I'm doing this again. I mean, the same play. Because Chicago is just putting 5 defensive backs on the field and just 2 linebackers. I will run the ball up the middle again and just try to, make my offensive line beat their defensive line.
Single back left here for the Sharks. There's a receiver wide open in the slot. And Powers going to get in for the touchdown as Powers gets his first down of the day. Crossing Hollywood Boulevard. Give him 6.
Great job by the offensive line to put Adrian Powers in the paint. And I think that Chicago will need to adjust if they are, again, in this type of situation. They are in the nickel defense when it's clearly goal line situation. And, again, I understand that that's your base defense. But when you put just 2 linebackers, 4 linemen in a situation where you have to just beat a yard, it's not ideal.
Here's the extra point here for Long. The snap and the kick is up, and he's going to get that one. So the Sharks come away with a great defensive stand on Chicago, and then on the assuming drive, score 6 points on it. I mean 7 points, should I say, with the extra point included with the touchdown. Ramos, this Sharks offense is looks like they're ready to play some football tonight.
Yeah, and this is what, couple of weeks of preparation, 3 weeks of preparation can do. Chicago really was unstoppable on offense and has been unstoppable on offense this season so far. But, when you watch the tape and when you are really into this and you can make the adjustments, this is what can happen. San Francisco at home, they have the weather on their side. They have their own crowd. And, as I said at the beginning of the broadcast, Chicago and stats, they look way better, but, it's on the field where you can really see which team made the adjustments.
Oh, there's an offsides here by the defense, and there's a swing pass to Odom, and Odom's going to pick up the first down and more out to the, looks like the 38-yard line is where he stepped out. It's going to be expecting Chicago to decline this.
Good play by Chicago. You expect, in this type of plays, when it's a free play, you expect them to go deep. But it was made to be like a swing pass or a screen pass. So good play and good execution offensively for the Wildcats to get a first down.
Ash Odom and Freeney in the back. Shot with 3 wide receivers going out on their routes. Big bum here by Caney. He got his man. Picks up a booming play. Oh my goodness. Buchanan Simons, what a catch.
And this is what Chicago is really good at. The deep throws. They are very good running the ball, and they have a good short passing game. But this is where they really excel, when you leave ticking to just throw the football 20, 30 yards down the field, because they are so good. Their receivers are so good getting open and getting contested catches.
Looks like same formation. Are we going to see the same play? Looks like it. Here's King again. Oh, he dropped it in the end zone. You got to be kidding me. How could you do that to your...
And it was a perfectly placed ball. It was back in the end zone, over the top. The safety is not in their place. The corner gets beat, and just completely out of the hands. I mean, this is something that you really cannot explain. I mean, one of the best receivers, and I understand. You're not gonna catch every ball, but that hurts.
Yeah, that's what you paid to do. The thing of it, Ramos, is they went back to that same play that they just converted the long bomb on, and Barkley was out of place, the free safety, and that pass is intercepted. What a, oh my, what a play.
Yeah, that's Camden Hoffman, the
This
Pro
kid
Bowler.
with the ball, then and he made sure he got both toes in.
Yeah, he did, and and this is what happens in football. The points that you leave on the table, a lot of the times, the very next play, the other team is gonna take it all the way. So, we'll see if San Francisco now can drive the ball to score more points.
There's Powers picking up a yard on that handoff there, and Ramos, that incomplete in the end zone just may cost Chicago. And I hate to say it, and I don't want to give any type of broadcasting jinx on it, but as you stated, you can't leave points off the board like that. That is a 3 wide receiver set here for San Francisco. 42 nickel defense. There's a free safety playing up in the box. And McClain got the man. And it is Burnham. One man to beat with 2 men to beat is Spurgeon and Gaines. And they're not going to catch him. Hollywood Boulevard. Goodness me. Oh, my.
And it was, if you see, it was basically the same play that Chicago was attempting, that big post route. And San Francisco used it, and all the way for 6. And this is a team that, San Francisco, they're basically using a similar type of playbook that Chicago has been using this season. They've done, the deep throws, they've done the slants, they have ran the ball, and, Chicago looks helpless out there defensively here in the second quarter.
I must say that I agree with you, but I'm repeat Mr. Gutty 117 in the chat. He said it's your boy, but I'm gonna say it in my Jay-Z voice. It's your boy. Oh, we're gonna go to SFL headquarters to the commissioner Cameron Irvine with a game break here.
Thank you, Demond. Well, excitement all around the SFL right now. Charleston forced a Max Jackson fumble on a punt return and returned it for a touchdown, and they're tied at 14 on ESN and ESN Next. Back to Damon Ramos and Jeff in San Francisco.
Here's Corey Carter on the return. He's going to be stopped and brought down at the 29-yard line.
And what a story. Charleston, this is a team that obviously has gone through several rebrands. They go to South Carolina. They have obviously the rivalry with the Skyhawks and everything. Mm-hmm. And they're playing good. I mean, they have had 2 losses, but both losses have been just by 1 possession games. They lost against the against the 4-time champion Queen City Corsairs, and against this Chicago team, which is 3-0. So they might be 1-2, but the record is nowhere near how good the Predators are really are, in my opinion.
I must say that I agree with you, Ramos. There's Ash Odom there, picking up 4 yards on that reception. Getting out of McClain tonight is just phenomenal. He's passing at an 81.3% for 13 of 16 attempts and completion-wise. Here's a handoff here to Odom. Odom's going to get hit and oops upside your head as soon as he catches the ball.
And if San Francisco can stop Chicago here on 3rd down, this is gonna get really interesting. It could get out of Chicago's hands here in the first half pretty quick because they have been unable defensively. And if you put the defense back on the field, they're gonna be tired, and the San Francisco offense looking really good.
There's an out route to the top of the field, and there's Corey Carter comes away with that reception. And he take it all the way up to the 49-yard line before being brought down. And I believe that was Barry Barkley on the tackle along with
Yeah, good play. It was a simple out route, and they have tried to do that. They did it once with Sham Barnett, worked really good, and now they try with Corey Carter, 1st down in Chicago, basically at midfield, trying to stop the bleeding in a row.
here's a far spread, and there's been oh my, what a hit! Oh my goodness! Is that Chris?
Yeah, and these are really hard-hitting players here with San Francisco, and they can all they have a very tough defensive line with Sonati now. But
It's like Ash Odom's only picked up 1 yard on that play. There's a look at his numbers: 3.0 on the average, 24 yards on the ground for Odom. Not a very productive day so far for him.
yeah, the defensive line has really just closed all the gaps, and they have been unable to run the football successfully.
The trips bunch left here for King, and King got Carter 5. Hollywood Boulevard, Chicago is back on the board with another strike.
Yeah, what a great play.
Now he could think close.
Again, past defense, past all the safeties. Great throw, and speed of Corey Carter gets him in the end zone.
And he held that thing so tight to his body that he was not going to let it go. And here's Jesus Garcia coming on to kick the extra point. There's pressure by the D-line, and that kick is up and good. And there you have it. It's 17-14. San Francisco up on the Chicago Wildcats here in the second quarter with 4 minutes and 49 seconds left to go. Garcia's going to kick it back off to Gabriel Manning, deadly return man.
Yeah, watch out for him.
There's Manning taking it from the 9-yard line. Bend move, hesitation, brought down at the 31.
And if I'm San Francisco, I'm really not rushing this. I will run the ball here at least on 1st down. That's what I will do. I will run the ball here on 1st down and try to take a little bit off the clock. You're gonna receive the ball in the second half, so you want to bleed the clock as much as you possibly can and come away with some points before the half.
There's a swing pass to Powers, and Powers probably going to pick up about 4 yards on that reception. There's a look at McClain numbers: 216 yards in the air, 1 touchdown, and 0 INTs, keeping it clean.
And that's something that's very important here in the SFL. Keeping your stat sheet clean. Not throwing interceptions, not fumbling the ball. It's very important for their success.
There's a 2-step drop here by McClain. McClain dumps it off to Manning. Manning's going to pick up 4 yards on that reception. 3rd and 2, which is manageable. McClain is throwing. He has a QBR at 138.4. Man, that's outstanding.
And I agree. This is something that San Francisco really needs to do, consistently. They have very good talent offensively and defensively. They just need to be consistent and just play from first quarter to fourth quarter.
McLean dumps it off to Powers, and Powers going to pick up probably about 15 on that dump off to the halfback. Out to Chicago 46-yard line. 1st and 10 now for the Sharks. Man, they are playing some outstanding ball tonight.
Yeah, and they were covering obviously Gabriel Manning, who was running a deep route, and Burnham, and they completely left open the running back, um, which obviously caused them the early. And now they're again in Chicago territory.
Let's look at Gabriel Manning, the highest paid receiver in the league. 3 wide receiver set here for McLean. Powers in the backfield by himself. There's a tight end on the line. There's a handoff to Powers. Tries to get skinny. Nothing doing. Not even to the line of scrimmage. Looks like Barnes was in on the tackle.
Yeah, not much there. I mean, it's good job by the Chicago defense, and it's something that hasn't worked for either of those teams. The running game, it's been more of a passing attack, and they go empty.
Here's McLean. Throws an out route to the top of the field, and he got the reception. Picks up 4 yards. That is Matt Burns. I've reached 35 yards. Ramos, we still in the second quarter.
Yes, we are, and you can thank that big touchdown that he had, and you're expecting more off of him, and it was expecting when he moved to tight end to wide receiver. I think it was a great move because Gabriel Manning gets all the attention. So sometimes that means that the number 2 wide receiver is the one who, from time to time, is going to get the most yards and the most touchdowns.
Bryant and Powers in the backfield with McLean. McLean goes deep. Oh, overthrows his intended receiver, and that was to the fullback, Bryant.
Yeah, he tried to fit that in the soft spot of the zone on a seam route and was unable to do so, and San Francisco will have to punt the ball away.
Unable to convert there on 3rd down. Corey Carter's going to be the return guy. What a high booming punt. Bounce. Oh, it hits the special teams player in the back. And they're going to count it down at the 12-yard line. Chicago ball. They're going to take over right there. A.T. King coming back on the field now.
Good punt either way. I mean, every time you can pin him inside the 20-yard line, it's good. And they have 2 minutes and 37 seconds. Chicago does to try to score some more points. So if they can tie the game before they have, it's going to be huge for this team because obviously they will not get the ball to start the second half. So it's important for them to get some points.
Trips type bunch here for Chicago. There's an out route to Torres, and Torres comes away with the reception.
Gets out of bounds and stops the clock, which is good.
And I agree with you. Stopping the clock. Well, it doesn't stop the clock. The clock is still ticking. That's kind of weird. He caught the ball and went out of bounds. How was the clock not stopped? That's Far Joker is here for Chicago, and handoff to Ash Odom right up the middle, and Odom goes nowhere. Here goes Sonati.
Yeah, it's number 94 again, and he's been with Camden Hoffman, you will say, the best players for the San Francisco defense so far in this game, and Sonati's been the guy who has been stopping the run.
There it is, people. 2-minute warning right before the half. Chicago is down by 3 points to the San Francisco Sharks as we're here in San Francisco at Shark Bait Stadium. And the crowd is starting to get loud and pumped here as they're screaming out defense. 42 nickel. 3 wide receivers here on the set. It's a pro spread. And off here to Odom. And Odom is hit hard. Look, guy came in and striked him.
Yeah, another Pro Bowler. Chat guy, really good run stopper, the main run stopper on this defense. And, he reminds me a little bit, I will say an NFL player, and it's one of your Dallas Cowboys, is Leighton Vander Esch. He's really big, he's really lengthy, with that neck board and everything. Very good stop in the run, sideline to sideline. And I'm surprised San Francisco's not actually calling a timeout to have more time to score more points here before the half.
Uh, Absolutely, because Malcolm Perry is going to time the clock, the play clock, to tick down on 2. Going to be another 4 seconds off the clock right here. And there's Gabriel Manning, the dangerous return man, up to the midfield at Chicago's 49-yard line. So they're going to give him forward progress before he's brought down.
Yeah, in a good field position, you're in Chicago territory, and even coming away with 3 points will be really good for San Francisco to go to the half. So, and I completely expected them maybe to throw it short here on first down to either Gabriel Manning or to the running back and try to get some yards to get closer to field goal range.
There's D Pink Finger in the chat. He's asking who's playing the game. Is it AI versus AI? That is correct. We are AI versus AI league. And there's a strike down the middle to Manning by McClain, and that pass is incomplete, deflected by Vic. D Pink Finger, do follow the SFL network. On You can also check out the Simulation Football League. I'm sorry, Simulation FL on our Discord as well if you're interested in joining the league. Here, Angus McClain, 1 minute and 8 seconds left on the clock here in the second quarter. There's McClain on the 2-step drop, steps up in the pocket, got some strike across the middle. That pass is, and that is to Burnham. Picks up 6 yards there on the play. Brian Empowers in the backfield with the quarterback, McClain. McClain throws another strike. That pass is almost intercepted, deflected by number 96, which is the outside linebacker, Blake Craze.
And there was no need for me at least to rush the situation. I mean, again, it's 4th down and 4, and you're not in field goal range. You still had 3 timeouts, and it seems that they may be going for this. Yeah, they have the offense on the field. I will actually punt. I will not risk it here.
Well, wide receiver said, "Oh, there's a false start as an encroachment violation on the defense, and who cares? That pass is completed and caught by Gabriel Manning right down the middle of the."
Yeah, 2 gaffes by the Chicago defense on the same play. First of all, you cannot step offside, and number 2, Manning was wide open, and not good for the Chicago defense as they will decline the penalty. San Francisco will.
Outstanding play here by Angus McClain here. I mean, in this first half, we've seen no INTs for this quarterback. 3 wide receivers said, looks like a tight end there on the play. There's another encroachment by the defense. Out route to the top of the field. That pass is deflected and incomplete. That was intended for Moss. That defensive end, Paul, getting caught with the hard cadence by McClain all day long. I want to say that's his 2nd or 3rd false start, or encroachment, should I say.
Yeah, I agree, and there's something that should 5 yards, 5 yards, 5 yards doesn't seem much, but if you have 4 or 5 of those and it's 25 yards, that's a lot of that's a lot of ground that you're leaving every single game.
There's a timeout here by the Sharks as Burnham makes a reception across the midfield, picks up 9 yards to 2nd and inch at Chicago's 19-yard line. 40 seconds left on the clock here in the second quarter. Single the 5-step drop by McClain. Goes deep. That pass is deflected by Gaines right at the goal line. 3rd and inches now. 36 seconds on the clock.
I really like the play call. It was 2nd and inches. So even if you go deep and have an incompletion, it's just 3rd and inches. So I like the play call. Going deep, you have been very successful at throwing the ball down the field and just, basically keep the defense honest. I will run the ball here up the middle. Again, 4 defensive linemen, only 2 linebackers, very far away from the line of scrimmage.
There's a two-step drop here by McLean and dumps it off to the fullback, Kelvin Bryant. And they're not going to call a timeout. They still have 27 seconds left on the clock. Down at the 12-yard line. Need to get to the 2-yard for another first down. Or just end zone. Here's a 5-step drop here by McLean. Goes with the fade route. Almost intercepted by Game. Oh, you testing a man of coverage.
And I'm not sure if, that was completely. I'm not sure if that was lack of communication or if the quarterback just threw it behind the receiver. But I think the receiver was running a corner route. He was going to the corner, and the quarterback just threw it to the inside. So not sure if lack of communication or if the quarterback just threw it short. But they will kick a field goal. They don't want any risks. They got almost intercepted twice, so they don't want to turn the football over.
And the 28-yard field goal is good right down the middle for long. Here's Long on the kick return. Carter's at the 9-yard line. Spin move. Brought down at the 32. I think if he kept going to the the left side of the field, he had open daylight over there, but for some reason he wanted to cut it back in. I didn't see anybody to the top of the field there that would have been able to tackle him up there.
With 7 seconds, I would think that Chicago will run the ball. You cannot risk it. Risk a pick six, risk a strip sack or something. So I would just run the ball, take it to the half.
There's a handoff here to Ash Odom, and you're absolutely. But Chicago calls a timeout with 3 seconds left on the clock. I mean, if they were going to do that, they should have passed the ball.
I agree. I'm not sure if they think that E.T. King has the arm to go in a Hail Mary play. And it's 68 yards. So maybe. But I agree. I mean, if you're gonna do that, just throw the ball a couple times and see what happens.
Absolutely. I mean, they could at least went for one of the big strike plays that they love to do. I mean, they called a timeout to come out and run another run play because they're in the power formation. There's a handoff here to Odom and nothing doing. This San Francisco defense is balling tonight. This guy once more, along with Jacob Gustafson. And we're at the halftime show now, Ramos. Take a look at that.
Nothing doing offensively as far as rushing yards is concerned. Only 43 combined, but it's been the passing attack has been really good. San Francisco with 263 passing yards, including one huge touchdown. And both teams defensively have really struggled. San Francisco does have a pick very close to the end zone that really saved them, and that was a huge swing in the game. But other than that, the defense and the secondaries have really struggled against the receivers.
And the time of possession is basically neck and neck. 11 minutes here for San Francisco and 10 minutes for Chicago, and some change. So neither team is dominating the game with time of possession. This is basically an air attack.
It's really been, and they have tried to run the ball. It's not that they have just completely abandoned the run game. They have really tried to run the ball, and no team has been able to do that. The defensive line is really sealing the holes, and there is the huge Burnham touchdown. But both teams have really tried to run the ball and nothing doing. Chat guy all over the running back. We have had, Clint Hendershot being very active in the run stopping defense, and the defensive lines uh, overpowering the offensive lines when it comes to running the ball. So I think the second half will be a little bit of the same. Just trying to throw the ball into Corey Carter, into Torres, into Gabriel Manning, Shan Varner, all of those guys.
Yeah, the Chicago guys to get things going on that's. I mean, they're playing pretty good ball, um, but can't allow this San Francisco defense to continue to dominate on certain possessions as we have seen them do this game. Uh, you stated they've been giving Odom the ball. He has 12 carries, but he's unable to break free or get anything going. He has 28 yards on the ground, averaging 2.3 yards a carry.
That's just not good enough. In a league where you have running backs, some of the running backs averaging about 4.3, 4.5 yards per carry, just under 3 yards a carry is not good enough.
Totally agree with you. There's Manning down to the 27-yard line. San Francisco will get the ball. Will have the ball here on this assuming possession. Once
And
again, oh, go ahead.
sorry, yeah, and after the half, they are really rested, all of them. I think that San Francisco, something tells me they will throw the ball deep again and they will try to score here quick.
Shout out to everyone who has been donating bits for tonight. Here's a hand dump pass here to Powers, and Powers going to pick up 7 yards. Looks like Football Dude is leading the way with 2,500 bits. If there's football, I can really can't snapping on my screen. BD Lovelace with 100 bits. Looks like Tackle Saint with 100 bits as well. Thank you, gentlemen. McLean now in the 3 wide receiver set. Halfback Powers to the right. Manning at the top of the field by himself. There's a handoff to Powers. Did he get the first down? No. Just short. 3rd and inches.
Now we'll run the ball here again up the middle. Chicago has not yet given us a power defense, and they go in the shotgun. I'm pretty surprised they're going in the shotgun. San Francisco in the 3rd and inches. I would just run the ball up the middle.
Shotgun formation, McLean. He's going to, did it hit the guard in the back?
I'm not sure if it was the guard or he hit the lineman in the helmet, but he didn't get the ball high enough. I think it was the defensive lineman in the helmet. He just didn't. Yeah, it was, and he didn't get the ball just high enough for the receiver. So a shame for the San Francisco offense, who you have to think. Yeah, you have to punt. I mean, it's 4th and inches. It's not hard to convert, but at the same time, you're at the 37-yard line, and you don't want to give the ball essentially in field goal range already.
Yeah, that was Kevin Owens, the defensive tackle. The ball hitting the head, and here is the punter, James Winston. I'm sorry, Robert Temps. That's not Carter. I was just about to say it's Carter on the return, but it wasn't Carter. It was backup fullback, Alfonso Freeney. Well, not the backup fullback, the only fullback on the team. Look at Odom numbers there. 43 defense here for the defense. 5-step drop here by King. King jumps it off to the fullback, and he's going to pick up 5 yards.
Chicago needs more of this. Chicago really needs to, start getting, those 4 or 5 yards of play. Because, we've seen they have some huge plays and then they just have a run for like -1 yard and stuff like that. They need more of those consistent plays.
2-step drop here by King to the top of the field. That as sign of bound. Chicago showing, I'm sorry, San Francisco showing press. The middle of the field is wide open, Ramos. Not sure if you see it, sir. And King is smothered. My goodness. Shark bait he was to this defensive front for the San Francisco Sharks.
And you were right. The middle of the field was completely wide open, but two things: they sent out everybody to go after the quarterback, and the corners had great pressure and great coverage, bump and run, really strong physical against the receivers, and nobody was able to get open. So that's a great physical defensive play for the Sharks.
And the Sharks bring pressure on the punt attempt. And here's Manning. Manning got the juke move, and he's brought. Here's Angus McLean underneath the center. Trips left. Powers in the backfield. Hand out to the halfback, and he's not going to get a yard. Clint Hender's shot and Craze on the tackle. Powers is averaging 1.2 yards a carry.
Great job by the Chicago defense in that front six, because they run a nickel defense. Great job on that play. And now they're ready to stop the pass. San Francisco shows that they're gonna throw in the shotgun formation.
And it looks like Craze is. Oh my good catch by Burnham.
Matt Burnham, as I said, he was a former tight end, so he's really accustomed to going in the middle of the field and just catch those balls in the linebacker zone. Clint Hendershot with good coverage, but it's that size and those hands. It's basically a basketball player just posting you up, and it's just very hard to stop if the receiver can get his body as a shield.
And Craze is cheating over towards Gabriel Manning. I noticed that on the last play as well, as he just tried to do it that time to help out Jesse Vick. But when he do that, he's leaving a partial middle of the field open, in that area.
Yeah, and it's what I was saying, back in, I think it was the second quarter, is, when the number one receiver is as good as Gabriel Manning, obviously he's going to draw the coverage from safeties, corners, you're going to shade a linebacker to that zone, and that leaves the number two receiver. Look, I think like a post route or something here, a deep throw to Manning will be a good idea.
I agree with you, because the middle of the field is open. No, they're going to give it to Powers instead. He's going to pick up 2 yards on the play. Brought down by Craze, the outside linebacker.
Now, obviously, you have a rookie quarterback here, but, an experienced quarterback would have maybe audible out of that play and just throw it deep to the receiver, Gary Manning, who was in a one-on-one situation with no safety help over the top.
So one-step drop here by McLean. McLean got some man down to the bottom of the field. That pass is caught. Matt Burnham. This 6th reception of the night at 200. It's at 166. It's close enough.
Really hard to stop him before he gets to the sticks. He's a really big, tall guy, and it's really hard to push him backwards. He almost always falls forward.
Here's McLean on a 5-step drop. Got Manning to the top of the field. Oh, what a catch. Spinning all the way around, doing a 180 to reel that one in. Craze on the pursuing play. Jay Corr saying great work in the booth. Appreciate it, sir. This is Ramos and I, second time connecting, hooking up here on the broadcast. Gabriel Manning to the top of the field. McLean pump fakes and dumps it to Powers, and Powers going to lose a few yards.
and that puts the ball at the 28-yard line. Now it's still scoring position, and San Francisco needs to be careful. If Chicago is able to get again in the backfield and make a tackle for loss, San Francisco may come away with empty. I think that San Francisco in this play, in this situation, will run maybe a slant route.
And there's McLean. That pass is deflected off of the defensive back, and it looks like Smith comes away with that reception.
Yeah, right place at the right time for L.J. Smith. The pass intended for Gabriel Manning, and now the deflection. L.J. Smith was right there to make the catch and scoop it for a first down.
Talk about a gift in the basket. It looks like Maurice Spurgeon deflected it with his right arm, and it just went right into the basket of Smith. Off right is Powers. Trips left for the Sharks. Dump it to Powers. Got open space. Picks up 4 yards. Tackled and brought down by Clint Hendershot.
Good job by Hendershot getting at the spot quick enough to limit the damage. Yeah, he was completely wide open. The running back was completely open. And with a 2nd and 6, I'm guessing they will throw it short again. They go again empty. They like to do the slant routes, just like 2 plays ago.
Empty backfield, 2-step drop it by McLean. Got a receiver across the middle of the field, and that is Gabriel Manning one-handed catching that thing. Dangerous play.
Yeah, dangerous, but a great catch on the play. And again, it's time for, again, I think, for them to run the ball up the middle with the running back. They do have a safety down low, but if they run the ball up the middle, I think they would be in a good spot.
Oh, Powers is nothing doing. Man, Hendershot and Craze. These guys are like a tag team tandem. I mean, they're just all over the place on the defensive side when it comes to defending the run, not allowing Powers to get into much of an open space.
Is it worth going for this? It's 4th and inches. I will kick the field goal to put in a 2-possession game.
I agree with you. I would have went for the field goal as well. Bryan and Powers in the backfield. And they only have 2 receivers. Looks like 1 tight end on the play. Tight end is on the line. Smith, that is. Looks like they was trying to draw the defense off sides. They're going to call the timeout. And looks like they're going to go ahead and agree with you, Ramos, and go for 3.
Yeah, they have to. They have to go for 3. And the reason why is because of the situation of the game. You're playing really good defensively. And if you score a field goal here, it will be 23-14, which is 9 points. That's a 2-possession game. And that's just too good of an opportunity to just, let pass.
Right.
If you were up by maybe 4 points, it's like, okay, if I score a field goal, it's still 1-possession game a lot of time. Maybe you can go for it. But, in this situation, I think the smart play is to kick the field goal and just force Chicago to score 2 times.
There's a snap. The kick is up, and it's good. 20 yards. San Francisco increases the lead, as Ramos stated, to 9 points. 23-14, San Fran up on Chicago. Here at Shark Bait Stadium in San Francisco, California. There's the kick ball long. Corey Carter, what do you have? Nothing. Stopped and brought down to the 31-yard line. Great special team coverage there by the Sharks.
Yeah, the good thing by Chicago is that their strength is passing the ball. So this is a team that is not limited to come from behind. There are teams that are more catered towards running the ball and play with the lead, whereas Chicago, I think, can really adapt because of the quarterback and the receivers they have.
2 wide receivers and Varner on the tight end line, and that pass is intercepted! Wow. Intercepted by the defense of the San Francisco Sharks.
Yeah, that's a great play by Barkley there. And
those deep posts. Yeah.
Yeah, he crashed to the middle of the field, and he recognized the play. He saw the receiver coming in the in route, and he completely crashed into the play to help his corner great hands to get the interception. And San Francisco, again, it's about only 10 yards away from another scoring position.
Four wide receiver set. Looks like there's a trips right here for McLean. Throws to Manning. Across the middle of the field. Manning picks up the 12 yards. Gets the first down. Down to the 30-yard line now. Chicago.
And those short passes is really what's killing Chicago. And those passes into the linebacker zone here in the second half have been completely killer. Look at the defense. I think that a deep post route will be a good idea here.
There's McLean crossing, across the middle. Got his man, Matt Burnham. Another first down for San Francisco. 20 seconds.
And they're trying things different. Chicago is trying to, things different here defensively. They are putting the safety down low. They're putting it, back 20 yards deep. Rotating coverages and everything, just moving linebackers around. But really nothing is working. San Francisco offensively has been completely on point. And, 3 wide receivers again against 5 DBs. Gary Manning one-on-one. Look out for him.
There's Manning to the top, going across the middle of the field, dumps it off to Kelvin Bryant, and he's not going to pick up a yard. That was the fullback there, out of the backfield.
Good job by the defense on getting on time and stopping it for no yardage. I think that the ball was there a little bit late, but at the same time, you have to give credit to the Chicago defense getting and making the stop.
And the rookie McLean is having an outstanding day thus far. There's a 2-step drop here. Pump fake. Got a man across the middle of the field. It's Burnham. And McLean is a week 3 signing for the San Francisco Sharks. Talk about it, Ramos. Just signing week 3, and this is your first game, and you're putting up this type.
Yeah, he's putting in a show.
5 wide receivers on the field here for San Francisco. Pump fake by McLean. Got the first down right down the middle to the 3. It is backup receiver. That is Aaron Judge on that reception. 6'5", 220 pounds. What a big guy.
Yeah, and it's about the second straight play they have done the pump fake, and it does freeze the linebackers just for 1/10 of a second, but that's enough to get the ball in time to the open guy.
Here's McLean. Got all days. He's going to be brought down behind the line of scrimmage. Give him a sack. Trying to see who that was there. Looks like 98.
And you see, yeah, and you see, the rookie coming out of the quarterback. He just takes off, runs up the middle. I think he has an easy touchdown, but he tried to find his open guy and didn't work and got sacked. I would not be surprised if they run the ball after that play.
Second and go at the 5-yard line for San Francisco. It's going to be handoff into Powers, and Powers gets down to the 1. Tackled by Craze. Almost crosses the goal line there to get in, but Craze came up and pow.
I will leave this to go to the fourth quarter and do the exact same play.
And there it is, people. Fourth quarter, put your 4s up in the sky. As we're heading to the fourth quarter here in San Francisco, the end of 3. Tonight's Simulation Football League broadcast Insert Network is brought to you in part by Nation's Best Football, helping NFL, college, high school, and youth players to help secure #SecureTheBag. By ScoreStream, official live scoring app of the SFL, and Sector 6, custom esports jersey and apparel, and the exclusive SFL shop provider, and SpyGoat, dedicated to the craft of audio. Arrow Shots brought to you by AirViews, united by drone. Visit airviews.com to see more drone footage. And San Francisco is such a beautiful place. Here's Chris Long coming out for a field goal attempt. This is going to be a 17 yarder. Sorry about that. I overcounted.
You know, and I thought that they were gonna go for this. You know, that's why I say, you know, go for the play, because in that case, it did make sense to go for it. You know, you're up already by 9 points, and it's, you know, essentially you're at the 1 yard line. Even if you fail, even if you don't get the touchdown, you're leaving Chicago with the ball at their own 1 yard line with a chance of getting a safety or something. So,
yep, and you're absolutely right. And their defense has been playing pretty good. They probably would have been able to come up with the stop. Ramos, if you're talking, I can't hear you, bud. Power I formation here for the Chicago Wildcats. And off to Ash Odom. Odom almost breaks the tackle but unfortunately couldn't get away. Second.
another great job defensively here for San Francisco. Again, it's 5 yards, not a bad play for Chicago, but Ash Odom has not been able to get away on any of those plays.
10 minutes and 22 seconds left. Drop by A.T. King. A.T. King goes deep. He got Buchanan Simon, and he brings this one in this time as he crosses Hollywood Boulevard. Give him 6 more. This game is not over just yet.
You know, in Chicago, their offense, their roster is made for this. They're made for the big plays, the big passing plays, and they're a team that can't come from behind with those explosive plays. Buchanan Simons gets way past the defense and gets in for 6. Easy score for Chicago.
I agree with you, and I want to call it trickery. They came out first play of the possession, and they came out in the power I. And in my head, I'm saying to myself, what in the world are they doing? Why are they coming out in this formation and running the ball? They come out the next pursuing play, deep bomb down the middle of the field. What they did is they attracted those safeties up close to the box, thinking it was going to be a run, and King strikes and goes deep.
And that's what they're built, and that's what they have done for so many seasons now. It's, you know, they know how to run the ball, of course, but it's those, you know, post routes, the corner routes, the go routes, the fades, all of those plays, and it's getting big chunk of yards, and scoring quickly. That's what they do.
X the Brown Knight X says, wow, missed it. I really am Chicago's bad luck. The second I switch, this happens. Hey, everyone, we're going to go to a game break to the commissioner at headquarters. Cam, take it away.
Thank you, Demond. Well, Keith Swearingen was averaging 2.2 yards a carry before he erupts down the far sideline and scores. Charleston leads 24-17 in Vegas with 8 minutes to go. Back to Demond, Ramos, and Jeff in San Francisco.
And let's see if one of these running backs can also erupt after they have been really...
What an INT here by Chicago, and that is... looks like Jeremy Lane. Oh, there's Jesse Vick. Sorry about that. I thought I saw 28. So it was Jesse Vick.
Mm-hmm.
Take it away.
Yeah, the second year corner gets in front of the receiver, and there were people, you know, last year, you know, they were questioning the drafting of, you know, Jesse Vick. It was like, man, maybe Chicago needs more, you know, help elsewhere. Maybe Jesse Vick wasn't the right guy, but, you know, it's been, you know, 1.5 seasons now, you know, this past season and what is about this season. Jesse Vick really playing at a high level, a really good corner in this league.
Hand off here to Ash Odom, and Odom picks up 9. Odom was brought down by Bark. Looks like San Francisco is going to bring a linebacker. Oh, Odom right up the middle. Booyah! Picks up the first down out to San Francisco's 18-yard line. Odom is slow getting.
Great job by the offensive line. Number 73 gets there on the third level, tries to make a block, and the running back just got there quicker than his offensive lineman. But a great play to put the ball in the red zone.
Jacob Gustafson on the tackle. 5 wide receiver set here for Chicago. Empty backfield is A.T. King. Man coverage is San Francisco. Everybody's up on the wide receivers, and King goes down. Loses 7 yards there on the play, and the big guy is flexing his muscles, throwing up the Q signs. D.D. Satch.
Great play, huge play here by the San Francisco defense. That's what they needed. If they can limit the damage only to 3 points, they will still be in the lead, but they cannot allow a touchdown here.
Coverage sets A.T. King. Oh, and DB got a receiver, picks up the first down to the 3. My goodness, Buchanan.
What a play, what a catch by Buchanan Simons on the sideline as we take a look at the replay. 2 feet in bounds, and unlucky for him, he just ran out of room. That was a touchdown probably, but still a great play. First and goal at the 3. And this is where San Francisco's defense really needs to tighten up. They have a great linebacker and check guy. Franco Zanatti is there, so it's going to be power against power. Chicago will run the ball to the left, I think. So
You're absolutely right. Hand off to King. King right up the middle. Hollywood Boulevard. He crosses it. Touchdown, Chicago. And they have come back to take the lead. Just that. And San Francisco should have went for that play instead of kick.
yeah, and that's what I'm saying. Like a couple drives ago, San Francisco going for it at the 1-yard line to score the touchdown instead of just kicking the field goal. This is why. But great job by Chicago getting the interception and capitalizing with a touchdown. If I'm Chicago, though, I will go for the 2-point conversion to make it a 3-point game.
Mm-hmm.
But still, you cannot fault them. They are now on the lead, and with 8 minutes and 17 seconds, that will be San Francisco, who's gonna be in, just looking forward for those plays and trying to come back now.
Here's Gabriel Manning on the return. Spin move. Tackled and brought down at the 29-yard line. Shotgun formation. And that's Burnham. Going to come away with their reception. Picks up 6 yards, 183 yards on the day, 12 catches. Talk about this. Well, it looks like Varner's going to challenge this.
Yeah, and I think he has a point. I'm not sure if that catch was in bounds. We'll have to take a look at the replay. But, I was going to mention, at first glance, it looked that might have been an incompletion. It's just a simple out route. And in the sideline, man, I think there's not enough evidence to overturn it, so I will think there will be a catch.
After review, the play stands. The pass was complete. The catch was made prior to going out of bounds.
Yep, they're going to say the field. They're ruling on the field stands. Chicago is charged a timeout. That's going to leave them with 2 timeouts for the remaining of the game. Four-2 nickel defense for the Wildcats. 3 wide receivers set here for San Francisco. Powers and Kelvin Bryant in the backfield, along with McLean, and he's going to dump it off to Bryant, and Bryant's going to pick up the first down before he hit out of bounds. Clock is still ticking. 8 minutes left on the ticker.
And you know, San Francisco has showed this game they can be clutch. You know, when it's been like third and you know, some situations they have been able to convert first downs. So you know, it's an offense in San Francisco who can really put the points on the board in this game.
Ooh, 5 steps drop by McLean, and McLean is brought down in the backfield. Chicago comes away with a sack of their own, and give credit to that one to Kevin Owens.
Great job by Kevin Owens. He goes and makes the spin move and just completely overpowers the offensive lineman to get to the quarterback. And now it's 2nd and 15. And this is, you know, Gabriel Manning time. This is Matt Burnham time. This is about those two guys, you know, empty set. And I think they will go to Burnham in this time.
2 wide receiver set. Powers is right behind the tight end to the top of the screen. Looks like all slants 90 there. And Gabriel Manning comes away with a reception. 3rd and 3. That's a look at Gabriel numbers. 18 targets and 13 receptions. How do they do it with targeting this guy so much?
They just have the timing down. You know, it's impressive because obviously we see a quarterback that it just got here essentially, but the timing is really good, and it's simple routes. You know, it's a slant route and everything, so it's not that hard to get the timing right, but still requires practice.
McLean's going to dump it off to the halfback to the top of the field, and Powers picks up the first down.
Yeah, great job there on 3rd down, and that's exactly what they needed. They didn't need anything flashy, just dump it off to your running back and let him get the first down.
I'm liking the composure of McLean. He's going through his reads, through his progressions, and if he doesn't see anything downfield, he dumps it off to the halfbacks, you know, in the slot. And that pass is caught there by Powers, and Powers is brought down. As soon as he caught it, going to lose 4 yards on that reception. Five wide receiver set here now for McLean. Defense is playing deep coverage, and there's a strike across the middle of the field to the backup tight end receiver, and that is Aaron Judge. Down to the 39-yard line of Chicago. 3rd and 1 here for San Francisco.
And those passes over the middle, you know, to the linebacker area are really killing the Chicago Wildcats. And they have killed the Wildcats all game long. And this is what San Francisco game planned. Obviously, it was their, you know, their scouting. It was their, you know,
shotgun formation for McLean. 3rd and 1. Throws it to Manning. It gets both feet in. I think that's a reception. I think San Francisco has to challenge this. R62 is calling it incomplete. 4th and 1. And there's the flag by San Fran.
The Sharks are challenging whether the pass
Now Ramus is all up to R62. Is he going to overturn this call?
I think that's a catch.
I agree with you.
After review, the pass has been ruled complete. The catch was made prior to going.
They're going to call it complete. Overturn the call. So it'll be 1st and 10 here now for San Francisco.
And I think that's the correct call. It was a very similar situation as what the Chicago Wildcats had in the previous possession. So I think that's the correct call to rule it a completion.
Here's McLean, gets pressure. It goes to the top of them, and Burnham breaks the tackle down to the 10-yard line. What a catch and run Oh my, took Hendershot to come over and bring him down.
Great speed. Great speed by the wide receiver. It's just an out route. He turns upfield, and it's hard to get to full speed after you get off a cut. That's what he did and got the ball inside the 10-yard line, first and goal.
That was great gains on the missed tackle. If he makes that tackle, I believe Burnham is down at the 20 or just inside of the 15. Outside the 15, should I say. And here's McLean. Dumps it off across the middle of the field. And this time, it looks like it's to L.J. Smith.
I like the play call here by San Francisco. They are not forcing the ball. They're just throwing it short to the open guy. And, you know, getting closer and closer. And they have been really good in this type of situations.
McLean underneath the center. Shotgun formation. Par slot pair. Pats the ball. Got his man. Burnham to the top of the field. Touchdown. Shark. He's going shopping on.
Yeah, and Burnham has been by far, you know, again, the quarterback has played great. McLean has played amazing today. But you have to recognize Burnham as the best player here on the field today. Another simple out route, but he, again, turns the corner and gets in the end zone. San Francisco needs to go for 2 here to make it a 6-point game. And I'm surprised they're going for the extra point. I will, you know, go for 2, put it in a 6-point game, sorry, which is a touchdown. But they're trying to kick the extra point just to be more safe.
There's an extra point by Long, and that one is good. Now they jump up 33-28. It's a 5-point game. 3 minutes left on the clock here for Chicago. That was 9 plays, 70-yard drive for the Sharks on that last possession there. A drive, that is. It's great stuff. Here's Carter. Carter brought down to the 30.
Three minutes and 37 seconds left, and this is what E.T. King can do, is driving the ball 70 yards, getting in the end zone, and snatching this game away from San Francisco. They go now with 4 wide receivers and a tight end. Man-to-man, look for the passes over the middle of the field here.
Middle of the field, wide open once again. Man-to-man coverage, as you stated. They bring in blitz. A.T. King! That pass is deflected away.
Great coverage, man-to-man, and the outsides have been covered really well on the outsides. They have struggled a little bit with the inside routes, but outside routes have been very impressive, including an interception in the first half.
Can't get any great coverage better than that than Sim Franco. That was a double move.
I agree with you.
A slow go by Simons. Three wide receivers set here for Chicago. Buchanan, Simons in the slot, and King almost gets tackled in the backfield. Guy comes away with the deflection. Great defensive play by the San Francisco Sharks.
Yeah, great play. That should have been picked. That was very close from being intercepted, and it should have been by Chet Guy, but Chicago gets a break and a 3rd down attempt.
The defense is a pressure, not King. Here's King on an out route to the top of the field. That's going to be incomplete. 4th and 10. They got to punt it away.
And again, you know, you're correct. I mean, that's what you have to do. Yes, you're down. It's only about 3 minutes and a half, 3.5 minutes left in the game, but you have to punt and you have to play some defense. If you, do not convert in a fourth down here, you're basically leaving San Francisco just in striking distance. So you have to punt, play some defense, and try to score in the last 2 minutes of the game.
Yeah. Rely on the defense here because your defense has stopped San Francisco several times in this game. I just have to count them, but San Francisco has well on the offensive side. As we saw the last drive, they went 79 plays for 70 yards. So look at Matt Burnham. Productive day at the office for him today. Angus McLean underneath the center. Power is to the right of him. Trips down to the bottom. Manning is there as well. And Power is going to break a tackle, picks up 2 yards. Looks like San Francisco's going to try to run some clock here.
And, again, it's something that they have not been able to do successfully in this game, run the ball, but it's something that you have to do. And this is why I say that Chicago needed to punt the ball, because it's not over yet here. They have been able to stop the run, and therefore they have the chance to get a 3-and-out here.
And McLean is letting the clock run down as much as he can. There's 5 seconds left on the clock. Takes a one-step drop, pats the ball, that passes home. Almost, it's deflected by Craze, but man, if Craze not there, that is a completion.
I agree, and that was very close from being intercepted, and Chicago saves basically a timeout. San Francisco gives Chicago a timeout with 2 minutes and 34 seconds left. And, it's a 3rd and 8. Maybe they will throw the ball again because it's a 3rd and long. Even though, honestly, they will run the ball and just force Chicago to call their first timeout.
3rd and 8, and they're going to run the ball here to Powers up the middle of the field and stopped. Maybe give him a yard or two. 4th and 6 now for the Sharks, and they're going to punt it away. Here comes Robert Temps.
And San Francisco needs to take this down to the 2-minute warning.
Yeah, that's what San Francisco is going to do. Very, very smart of them. Two minutes, people, here in San Francisco, 4th quarter. At Shark Bait Stadium, 4th and 6 are the Sharks. They're going to punt it over to the Chicago Wildcats, where Corey Carter will be waiting on the return. Low snap. And Carter's going to be tackled and brought down at the 23.
E-taking has 1 minute and 52 seconds to go. 77 yards now. And they need an explosive play right here. They need to have a big play from J.C. Torres or Buchanan Simons. Again, man-to-man coverage. If one of those corners, gets caught napping, this could be a huge play for the Wildcats.
5 defensive linemen and a linebacker blitz, and they leave the receiver wide up. This Torres. TC right down the middle of the field. My apologies, JC. I don't know why I called him TC.
And that play works. It has worked before. What I don't like is that they leave no safeties over the top. You normally run that play with safeties over the top, and you can pressure with the lineman. But if your corner gets beat, you have nobody deep, and especially in this situation where you want to stop him from getting big plays. It's really puzzling that they are doing this type of defensive play calling.
Yep, they're going to shift to the left now. High snap to E.T. King. King throws an out route down to the bottom of the field. That pass is caught by Buchanan Simons.
Yeah, what a throw and catch. Very few quarterbacks can do the type of throw. You throw the ball all the way to the sideline on time with velocity. And now it's 36 yards only instead of 77 just in 2 plays with still a minute and 42 seconds. There's a lot of time on the clock here still.
Corey Carter at the bottom of the field. Torres on a corner route to the top, and his pass is complete to Carter. Picks up the first down, 1 minute and 33 seconds.
And this has turned into a situation where you have to think if it's actually San Francisco the ones who have to start calling a timeout or something because, Chicago is moving the ball at will and, they don't want to score too quickly here. They want to score and leave as less time as possible on the clock.
Buchanan down to the bottom of the field. King goes across the middle. He got his man. Touchdown. Buchanan Simons as he crosses Hollywood Boulevard. Chicago jumps right back on top. Oh my goodness. Ramos Lynn, what a game we are watching and witnessing here in San Francisco.
Yeah, and again, it was Jacob Gustafson in that play. He overplayed the ball. He was not in the correct spot, and the ball just went past over his head. And good play call here for Chicago, going for 2, just put in a three-point game.
Strong eye jokers here. Handoff here to
Great
Ash
play.
Odom, and Odom converts the 2-point conversion.
Yeah, great play calling. Great play calling. They had the numbers on the outside. The fullback goes to the outside and just completely seals the edge. Right there, number 24 got completely destroyed. And Chicago now up by 3 points. But, this is a San Francisco team. They have Gabriel Manning deep to return the kick. And he's been, he is a force. Every time he gets the ball, it's a force.
You're extremely right about that. And there's Gabriel Manning from the 12-yard line. And spin move. Gabriel! Down at the 33. I thought he was about to break that tackle and sprint off to the races.
Yeah. He is one of those guys. He's like in the Comakaleka, back in the day. And
Oh, yeah.
yeah, he's one of those guys. Troy Longshot, every time he gets the ball, he can go all the way for 6.
Trips left here for McLean. Gabriel Manning down to the bottom of the screen. There's an out route to Manning, and Manning's going to pick up 4 yards on that reception. Great play by throwing an out route and Manning getting out of bounds.
Yeah, definitely. You stop the clock with 58 seconds left still. And, they need a field goal. Obviously, a touchdown will give them the win. But even with a field goal, you will be tying this game and going into overtime at home. So, they just need to maybe move the ball a good, I will say, 30 yards.
Mm-hmm.
And they could be in a good spot.
There's McLean, and that pass is caught by Manning. Gabriel Manning, what an outstanding Moss play. He just, oh my goodness. What a play by Gabriel Manning, the veteran here in San Francisco, going up top for I thought it was picked off by Vic.
And it's the importance of having a good number 1 wide receiver who can get those 50-50 balls and just out-jump players, out-jump corners, is because of that. You have to get a big play, and San Francisco is in scoring position. I think they will run an out route here, get out of bounds, and stop the clock.
There's Gabriel Manning across the middle of the field, picks up the first down. They're going to go hurry up the offense. 45 seconds and counting here on the ticker. 1st and 10 at the 16-yard line of Chicago. Both halfbacks goes out on the pass. That pass is deflected away. And in
Yeah, great play by the corner on that play. It's just lurking in the zone and just deflecting the ball down. Good play.
Angus McLean, 104.4 QB rating, 484 yards on the day.
If he gets the touchdown here, that will be 500 yards exactly.
One step drop here by McLean, and McLean finds Manning. Field picks up the first down to the 5-yard line. 28 seconds left on the clock. What are you going to do, San Francisco? Cornerbacks are playing off. Got some in across the middle. He goes back to the back of the end zone. Incomplete pass. That pass is deflected away by Jesse Vick.
Great job by Jesse Vick. Is just a deep corner route. It was a good throw, but Jesse Vick just jumped and was able to deflect the ball 5 yards from scoring. And you might think, I mean, you have still 2 timeouts. You can run the ball here on second down. I mean, they will go empty, but you can technically run the ball and call a timeout if you don't get in the end zone.
They had a receiver open, streaking across the middle of the field on the last play. There it is right there again. And he couldn't get in. Moss came up short. There's a timeout by San Francisco.
Yeah, his momentum just pulled him to the left side of the field instead of forward. He needed to really stretch for that ball, so his momentum was the one who carried him into the defender. And man, they will try the field goal right now to tie the game. They don't want to have any type of, gaffes, any type of, offensive, miscues, no fumbles, no interceptions here. They will kick a field goal and play overtime.
Oh, wow. This is going to be an 18-yard field goal attempt. And it's good. Chris Long putting in work. 11 seconds left on the clock. San Francisco's going to kick it off here to Chicago Wildcats. It's going to be Corey Carter on the return. Booming kick to Carter at the 10-yard line, and Carter's going to breaks the tackle, not going to break two. Brought down at the 29-yard line. 6 seconds left. You think they're going to come out shotgun formation, or they're just going to hand it off to Ash Odom?
I think they will just hand it off to Ash Odom. It's a situation where you have to go 71 yards. So you look at the odds, and it's like, can we get 71 yards out of one play? I think they will. Well, they're in the shotgun, so never mind.
Shotgun, 4 wide receiver set here. Look for the wide receiver cross. There's down the middle of the field. That pass is almost intercepted.
Yeah, beautiful play. There was some press man-to-man coverage, but they did have the safeties deep, so they did learn from their mistakes. And they say it's not gonna happen to us again. We are gonna press the receivers, yes, but we are gonna have the safeties deep to prevent another huge play.
Yeah, but Gustafson was right there, right in the middle of the field. 4 defensive linemen on the front. 5 wide receivers here for Chicago. 2 seconds left in this ball game. A.T. King steps up in the pocket, just going to dump it off. Incomplete pass. And that's the end of regulation. We're going into overtime. Old school overtime rules are applied. First team score. Button death throughs. Coin toss there, and the Sharks will receive. Wildcats had an overtime victory last week versus the Charleston Predators at the SFL convention in Atlanta.
Anything can happen here. For all we know, how this game is going is a crazy game. Gary Manning could return this all the way for 6. It's let's see what he can do. Good coverage. Now, it's very important here that San Francisco is getting the ball, because we're talking about a 36-36 tie. We're not talking about 3-3 where offenses are struggling. We're talking about a quarterback in McLean who has 498 yards this game. So it's not been hard for him to throw the ball all over this defense. As look, they don't have safeties here on the far side. They could be really exposed here on the far side.
Here's McLean going deep. He got his man. It's Matt Burnham. Oh, what a catch. Right down the middle of the field. He has 246 yards on the day. Man, that is an outstanding day at the office.
Yeah, and it's been that way all game long here for Matt Burnham. It's just getting way past the corner, and the corner is just chasing. He is not covering. He's chasing Matt Burnham all game long. And again, it's one explosive play. They're close to scoring position again, and it's about Chicago's front to put in some pressure on the quarterback now.
1st and 10 here for San Francisco at Chicago's 37-yard line. 7-step drop here by McClain. No pressure. He dumps it off to the middle of the field, and that is going to be to Matt Burnham once again.
Getting closer to scoring range, and 2nd and 6, just a change of pace. I will run the ball here on 2nd and 6 just to change the pace a little bit and just tire this Chicago front 7 or front 6.
Free safety is not in the middle. Well, the free safety is. There's no strong safety back there. I was going to say take a deep strike down the middle there. They did run the ball there, Ramos, as you stated. Mix it up a little bit.
Yeah, but great job by Odom on the front 4. Not related to Ash Odom, but great job by him. 16 catches out of 20 targets for 250. Incredibly productive.
Strips left down here to the bottom of the field for San Francisco and McClain. Powers on a single back right, and McClain's getting pressure. Wow. He's brought down. What a defensive play.
Yeah, as I said, it's about the defensive line to put pressure on the quarterback because they were really in scoring range. So they needed this sack, and Chicago will get the ball back.
And that's the non-generic the non-contract player Kevin Owens coming away with his 2nd sack on the night. And that takes San Fran way out of field goal range.
Yeah, and that's the worst thing that could have happened for San Fran. I mean, an incompletion and, throwing the ball out of bounds, everything was fine except taking a sack because now a very power offense in Chicago will get the ball. They are going to be pinned inside the 10-yard line, but, we've seen E.T. King earlier in the game more than one time drive the ball down the field, 70, 80-plus yards for scores.
That punt is going to put Chicago inside of the 10-yard line at the 7. Ball bounced and rolled right out of bounds.
Power formation here, so they will run, I will say, in first down.
Looks like San Fran is going to bring blitz. At middle of the field, picks up 9. Out to the 16-yard line now of Chicago.
Great job by Ash Odom, staying patient, just lowering his shoulders. And he is not a back that is easy to hit. He is very slippery, as you can see. Puts the shoulders down and gets 9 yards, despite San Francisco putting about 8 players in the box.
Second and 1. Power I formation once more. Hand off to Ash Odom. As soon as he crosses the first down line.
And Chicago really changing the pace of the game. It was all passing in the second half, and now 2 straight runs with Ash Odom. They know that San Francisco's front line is getting a little bit tired, and now they're going a shotgun, so maybe a deep throw.
And San Francisco's in that weird defensive play once more, and there's the strike to Corey Carter. Talk about dropping it right in the basket, and that is what E.T. King did on that conversion there to Corey Carter.
Tons of touch on that ball. It was not a rocket pass. It was not a laser throw. It was, as you said, a drop in the bucket. It was with a lot of touch, precision pass, and a great job by the Chicago wide receiver to track that down and get away with it.
And off into Odom, and Odom is smacked and hit hard. Oh my goodness, what a play there by Gilbert.
And again, they go with a press man-to-man coverage as Chicago goes in the shotgun. The 2 safeties are deep, though, so they do have the safety help.
E.T. King got to Corey Carter for the first down to San Francisco's 35-yard line.
But what Chicago's doing right now, they're doing a great adjustment now because they're putting Corey Carter on the inside against the number 3 corner, or the safety rather, number 43, and they are completely confusing him by doing cross routes and stuff like that. So he's just not quick enough to react, and that's why in 2 plays they've been able to get about 40 yards.
There's a handoff to Ash Odom right up the middle of the field. Odom's going to pick up 2 yards on that carry. Tackled and brought down by Guy.
Chicago right now is not making the same mistake that San Francisco did. Do not take a sack. It's better to throw the ball out of bounds, through the feet of your running back, something to get away with it. But you cannot take a sack and get out of scoring position.
Here's A.T. King.
Oh,
That pass is almost intercepted as it hit the Chicago receiver and bounced into the hands of 2 Sharks. They was unable to come away with the INT. 3rd and 8 now for Chicago.
I think that is San Francisco. I mean, this is going to be a long field goal. If it gets like this, it's a long field goal. Chicago can get about 5 yards on this. It's really doable.
Here's A.T. King going to the top of the
Great
field. That
coverage.
pass is almost intercepted.
Great coverage by Gustafson. He whiffed in regulation, allowed a touchdown for Chicago to go up top. But great job being on top of the play. And if you're Chicago, this is a very tough decision. Do you kick a 50-yard field goal or do you punt? And they will punt, actually. I don't blame them. I really don't blame them. But, it's a tough decision to make either way.
You're right. It is a tough decision to make when you do not have it. He's starting corner this one here. Oh, he knocks the guy back there. The ball going to go out at the 13-yard line. Not too bad of a start for San Francisco. You hate to start the drive right at your goal line with your backs there looking to get a safety, but they're going to start from the 13 now.
And again, as you're saying, it's not terrible, but you do want to have the ball here, obviously in overtime, since first score wins, and we've seen a lot of explosive plays.
Here's McClain across the middle of the field, tries to do a juke move. It's on him. He's gonna be brought down after picking up 2 yards.
Burn him again. It seems that he's like what is it? It's his 17th catch of the game now, and he's been just completely reliable. Everything that has hit his hands has been completions, and this is what you want for a young quarterback, getting in the rhythm of playing in the SFL.
Here's McClain on a 5-step drop. Throws across the middle. That pass is almost intercepted by Grays.
Extremely dangerous.
Very, very dangerous throw. 3rd and 8 now. Since to get something moving, they need a first down here. 5 minutes and 23 seconds left on the clock. Let's look at Owens' numbers: 2 sacks and 3 tackles. 5 wide receivers, empty backfield. McClain in the shotgun. Chicago's in a 4-2 nickel defense. Throws the ball across the middle to Moss, and Moss drops it.
And this is great for Chicago. They will get the ball with phenomenal field position here. And, they have a good returner. So if they can get the ball past midfield, which they should be able to, they will not need too many yards to get into the field goal range. So it's going to be about this punter to punt the ball as far as he possibly can and wait for good coverage.
There's a low snap on the punt. That punt is almost blocked as Chicago brought pressure.
Nice punt.
Here's Carter at the 45. He's going to become some drop down. And they're going to
that's a very nice punt. We have not heard a lot of Shan Varner, the tight end, as of late. So, let's see if they involve him here in overtime.
Yeah, we haven't heard anything from Varner since the end of the beginning of the second quarter. Handoff here to Odom. Odom right up the middle of the field. Going to pick up 1 yard. Chad Guy once again on the tackle. along with three wide receivers set here for A.T. King. Two-step drop, moves over to the right. Oh, that pass is almost intercepted.
That was very close.
Very close counter there.
That was extremely close. You know, if he gets away with that, that's a complete pick six. No questions about that. And, you know, Chicago almost threw the ball, threw the game away. Again, man-to-man coverage. Let's see if they do another crossing route.
They have both safeties playing deep. A.T. King on the three-step drop, steps up in the pocket, throws a dart. That pass is incomplete, intended for Carter, but Barkley was there.
Back and forth we go. You know, and whatever you can do, I can do better. So another great stop here for Chicago, and sorry for San Francisco. And you know, and if I'm Chicago, I'm punting the ball out of bounds just like they did in the previous time. You do not want to give Gabriel Manning a chance to return this, even if it's so far deep. They did. Watch out.
Here's Gabriel on the spin at the 20.
Great
Nothing
coverage.
doing. Great coverage by Brandon Vesey. There's McClain.
And what we saw here, especially in the second half, was a lot of offense. And we have seen in overtime, it's a lot of defense. Great job by both defenses coming up big as San Francisco goes in the shotgun. And it seems that they're going for all the marbles here.
McClain dumps it off here to Powers. Powers picks up 2 yards. McClain, the undrafted rookie, 541 yards on the day, 2 touchdowns, and 1 INT. 78.3 completion percentage.
Which is very, very good for the young quarterback. And, you know, remember, people, this is going to be unlimited overtime. We have no ties in the SFL. So if after this is a tie, we go to the second overtime and the third overtime if needed.
Single back tights, trips, left, right, should I say. That pass there to the tight end, L.J. Smith. He picks up a few yards there.
Shotgun formation one more time, and no running backs on the backfield. The safety, the free safety, second free safety, not helping on the outside. Let's see if they throw the ball on the outside here. Nope.
On front by McClain. That pass is deflected away by Spurgeon.
Maurice Spurgeon, another player we have not talked much about in this game, but he is really good, a Pro Bowler, showing off with another big-time pass defense. And again, back and forth we go. Now Chicago will have the ball again.
That would be first pass deflection of the night. He has 5 tackles. Corey Carter on the return, and he's no, not Carter. That is the backup. Not the backup. That's the fullback.
I mean, it just takes one big play. It can be from this guy, Ash Odom. He has not exploded in this game yet. They go in a power formation. If he gets some good blocking, he can go off to the races here.
Watch that offensive line. And there's Odom, and Odom is hit right at the line of scrimmage by Chad Guy.
What a play. That's why he's a Pro Bowler. Number 54, the big-time linebacker. Really strong, really powerful in the point of attack. Really good shedding blocks and getting into the running back.
That's 10 tackles on the day for Guy.
Look, another man-to-man coverage here.
Four defensive linemen. King rolls to his right, throws it out of bounds.
Great coverage. And this is what San Francisco has attempted to do, and it hasn't worked until this time, is just putting the pressure with the front defensive linemen and getting the coverage on the outsides to force E.T. King to panic, throw it out of bounds, force him into an errant throw or something. And again, another man-to-man coverage here. Let's see if they work.
Trips left, trips right here for King. King with the big arm. And he got to receive his TC Torres. JC Torres.
Yeah.
I knew a guy named TC. That's why I keep calling him that.
JC Torres with the strength to get off the press coverage. Runs behind the defense. The safety not there on time. And they ran a cornerback blitz on the near side. The corner actually blitzed. And E.T. King didn't see it. If he saw it, he could have thrown the ball near side deep, and that would have been probably a touchdown because the receiver was open. As San Francisco's just daring Chicago to throw the ball with another man-to-man coverage.
At Chicago's, yeah, I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
Here's King going deep once more. That passes a tip by Simons and incomplete. 2-minute warning.
It's the second time. It's the second time we see Buchanan Simons dropped an easy touchdown. And again, he's a great receiver, but he needs to catch those passes. That can cost you the game.
Pressure, King hit as he throws. That pass is deflected by Hoffman. And we're going to for a game break. Cameron Irvine, take it away.
Thank you, Damon. Well, while you're in your track meet, Memphis Blue caught his first touchdown in 2 years coming out of retirement on 11 Sports tonight, and the Las Vegas Fury beat Charleston 31-27 in a thriller. Let's see how your game ends, Damon.
2 thrillers today.
36 all here in San Fran. A.T. King, big throw, that pass is incomplete. Hoffman putting the body on the line to deflect that pass. Now Chicago can seal the game here with the field goal.
Great play across the board for the Sharks. Great pressure, great coverage by Hoffman. And on the near side, the corner bumped the receiver, put him on the ground, and then interfered the other 2 receivers to get off their routes. So that was complete disruptive force by San Francisco, as now Garcia's trying to win the game for the Chicago Wildcats. Not an easy field goal, 45 yards out.
See what he does here. There's a snap, low snap. Oh, the buzz is blocked. It's blocked by San Francisco. 1 minute and 44 seconds left in this game. Oh, all time at 33.
We had 72 points scored in 44 minutes of play. And right now in 10 minutes, it's just playing in the middle of the field with no scoring.
Here's McClain, throws a sidearm, caught him into the field. That pass is complete to Manning.
That's a Ron Cochran or Matt Wilson type of throw. That's not easy. I mean, you have to put a lot of touch. You need to put a lot of touch. You need to have, you need to put a catchable ball, put in there on time with some zip on it. Not too many quarterbacks.
First and 10 here for McClain and the Sharks. 1 minute and 15 seconds left on the clock. Pass the ball, dumps it off to his halfback Powers, and Powers going to pick up 4 yards on that reception. Did not get out of bounds, stayed in bounds, so the clock is still ticking right at midfield. 36.
Clock not an issue, of course, just if you want to have some type of win advantage, because we are gonna play overtime until one team scores. So, if we get to the second overtime, San Francisco will retain the ball and continue playing. But I like what they're doing, throwing the ball short.
5-step drop here by McClain. McClain dumps it off to Powers. Powers gonna step out of bounds this time. Clock stops at 37. 3rd and 3 at Chicago's 47. 5-yard line to at least get a decent field goal attempt.
And with the ball at the third and the 47-yard line, 3rd and 3, you have a lot of options. You can run the ball, you can throw it short, you can surprise and throw it deep. You have a lot of on options.
They're gonna throw it to the bottom of the field. That's to L.J. Smith, and he dropped it. The tight end. 21 seconds left. Ramos, what would you do?
I will punt the ball. I mean, the defense has played good enough. They have struggled with some deep passes, but they have played good enough here in overtime. I will just punt the ball, try to pin them deep again, and just continue to play defense.
And punting the ball is what San Francisco is going to do. And it's going to be 5 and touched it, and it slid right into the end zone. So Chicago's 20 seconds left to go here in the first overtime.
Great break right there from Chicago, getting the ball at the 20-yard line instead of the 1 or 2-yard line.
In Chicago through our receiver set. They're going to hand it off here to Ash Odom, and Odom is hit after picking up 2 yards. Now at Chicago's 22-yard line. Going to allow the time to run out. No one's going to take a time out here. And Raymond within 10 minutes of first overtime, going into overtime number 2.
It's crazy. We played for 44 minutes and 72 points were scored up and down the field, and now it's been about the defenses holding.
4 jokers here now for Chicago. It's like a 42 nickel defense for the defense, and Ash right at the line.
Another great job by Franco Sonati, the defensive lineman, stopping the play. Just minimum yardage on that one, as E.T. King will have to again put the ball on the air to get the first down.
Press man coverage go. Oh, they put the receiver in the dirt, and King.
Wow.
That is caught by Corey Cole. What an outstanding play, man. I wish you would receive it to the top. I think it was J.C. Torrey.
Yeah, big man throw there. Squeezing it in between 3 different players.
Outstanding catch there by Carter. Great concentration there. Here's Buchanan Simons at the bottom of the field. Trips to the left of E.T. King. Ash on him in the backfield by himself. 2-step drop here by the QB. Pass is caught by Torres.
Now they get close to midfield, and it's the opportunity for Chicago to either running the ball or throwing the ball, getting some good yards after the catch, or getting a good hole for the running back, and put this in field goal range one more time for another opportunity.
E.T. King throws a strike. That pass is incomplete, intended for Buchanan Simons.
This is the chance for San Francisco to again show their defense and show how good they have played here in overtime. They will probably press man-to-man coverage again. Actually, they won. They will now change it up to a zone and see if it works.
3rd and 5. Zone coverage here for the defense. Like they're playing a cover 4. E.T. King goes deep, goes up high. Is Buchanan Simon comes away with that catch. E.T. King has thrown 2 high, and that one was not.
Great job, great play. 50-50 ball again. Well, not quite yet, but Jacob Gustafson was not there on time, and great throw. They're very close from that scoring range that they're looking. I think they will run the ball here out of this formation, which I think could be a good idea, just to get closer.
And there's Ash Odom right up the middle of the field. Gets on the other side of the 30 in scoring position here now of San Francisco. Second and 5-second overtime. Still in great position, Ramos, to maybe steal the game with the field goal. Let's see how it plays out.
Safeties are down low, so they're expecting another run.
Here's King throwing it to the top of the field, and he has Torres, and Torres gets the first down.
Another big time play by Torres. Just a quick out route, able to turn the corner, get the first down.
It looks like Chicago is trying to get this thing here as close as they can into the end. It's a great position. I-form spread here now. Hand off to Ash Odom up the middle of the field. Odom is 15, second and 5.
Honestly, if I'm Chicago, I will run the ball here with Ash Odom one more time. Well, they will put in the field goal unit here. Let's see if he can get the ball past the line of scrimmage this time around.
And Raymond, this is going to be a 31-yard field goal attempt. There's a high snap. The kick is up. And it's good. 31 yards right down the middle. Chicago takes the lead. 2 weeks back-to-back overtime wins for the Chicago Wildcats. And, man, this was a thriller because we had to go into a second overtime, Ramos.
Yeah, and they had to come back. I mean, they were down at one point, 26-14, and they had to come down from behind. And just great resilience from the Wildcats, never gave up. And they are now 4-0. 4-0 to start the season.
Wow. What a start. Look at these stats here, man. This was a straight out passing game. Look at time of possession. Almost close neck and neck. And this Chicago had 2 INTs thrown by King, and they still found a way to come away with the victory. But you can't take anything short here from the San Francisco Sharks because these guys played some outstanding ball on both sides of the ball. You saw great signs on the defense, and the offense was just outstanding.
Yeah, the offense was just clicking absolutely perfectly, and again, you know, the defense had spots, as you're saying. You know, we saw Franco Sonati getting the pressure, getting the stops for a loss in the run game. We saw Ken Hoffman with 2 great plays, 1 interception. Jacob Gustafson had a couple of brilliant plays as well. Chad Guy was all over the field stopping the run. So, you know, we saw great plays by both teams. And, you know, it's something that, you know, San Francisco can be, you know, they shouldn't be ashamed of, you know, losing against the 4-0 team and just taking it to double overtime. Actually, they should be really proud, and they should be really excited about the future with the new quarterback they have.
Yeah, I must say that I agree with you. And McClain looked outstanding tonight as he threw for 572 yards, 59 on 76 attempts. That's at 77.6 pass completion percentage. And his average yards per attempt was 7.5, 2 touchdowns, 1 INT, a QBR of 101.3. I mean, you can't ask for a better game than that. You know, you just came up short. It wasn't that you were blown out. Now, I'm not saying for San Francisco to accept the loss. Not saying that at all whatsoever. But you played a great game on both sides of the ball, and you got to give it up. Chicago just was the better team tonight. They made more plays down the road of the game.
Yeah, I agree with you. And again, you know, you're looking at the San Francisco Sharks, and this is a team that is planning for the future. I mean, they have a new quarterback and everything, while Chicago has been a team that has done that, has been preparing and has progressed their players for about 2, 3, 4 seasons now. Again, as I was saying, they have no rookies, whereas San Francisco have a rookie quarterback, and they are just getting their footing in and just trying to get a new age into San Francisco football.
Yep, and as we close down here on the stats, I mean the highlights here of the game, everyone join us next week those who are new, watching the Simulation Football League, presented by APM Music, make sure you visit the website at simulationfl.net. Join our Discord, and there from our Discord, you'll be able to interact with everyone in the league, find owners, chat with the owners, chat with the commissioner, chat with the directors of player personnel, both the assistant as well, the president of the SFL as well. Get in there, have fun, mingle and meet. And hey everyone, signing out from Shark Bait Stadium. I was your play-by-play commentator today, Demond Simeon. Alongside me tonight was Mr. Supposed to say your name.
Sorry. I was waiting for that. I was waiting for you to say it with some power. Ramos in here. Thank you very much. Appreciate you. Appreciate this double overtime. Thank you guys for watching the game. Thank you to the Stats for another great job.
Absolutely. Thank you, Jeff Lowe, for being on Stats tonight. And hey, everyone, we are signing out. Peace.
Peace.